Are you feeling good today?
Yes.
Is anybody absent?
No.
Very good. So, do you still remember what was our lesson yesterday, class?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is our lesson yesterday? It's about addition and subtraction of radicals. Very good. Go, please raise your hands who will answer how to solve the addition and subtraction of radicals. To add or subtract radicals, indices and radicand must be the same. Very good. Do you have any question?
No.
So let's proceed to the next one. So have you measured your notebook? What is the area of your notebook? Supposing that the length of your notebook is equal to 2 to the square root of 43 and the width of your notebook is equal to 2 to the square root of 3. So what is now the area of your notebook? Since we know that the formula of an area is equal to length times width. So how are you going to solve that one? Arvin, can you solve that in front? Okay, so we have the area is equal to length times width. And the length given is equal to 2 to the square root of 43. And the width is 2 to the square root of 3. So, we can now solve since they have the length and the width. So, length times width, which is the length is equal to 2 to the square root of 43 times the width is equal to 2 to the square root of 3. So, multiply 2 times 3, 2 times 2 rather, is equal to 4 times the square root of 129. And the final answer is equal to 45 when 43 is the area of this notebook. Example, only this one. So, based on that example, what operations are we use? Multiplication, very good. Try to observe the other example. It has a radicals. Now, what do you think is our lesson this morning? About multiplication of radicals. Very good. So, this morning, we will discuss about the multiplication of radicals. Example. Two to the square root of 5 times 3 to the square root of 2. So, it's the indexes the same or not? So, it's the same. So, we are going to multiply directly. So, first, we are going to multiply the coefficient, which is 2, and the 3, the coefficient. And then multiply also the radicand 5, square root of 5, the radicand, and the square root of 2, the radicand. We're going to solve the multiplication of radicals. We are going to multiply the radicand, and we are also multiply the coefficient. So we have 2 times 3 is equal to 6, and the square root of 5 times the square root of 2 is equal to the square root of 10. So the final answer is 6 to the square root of 10. So another example. So we have the square root of 2 times the cube root of 3. Can we multiply it directly, class? No, because it has not the same index. So very good. So now, what are you going to do with this example? Okay. we are going to transpose this to a rational exponent. So we have 2 to the exponent 1/2 times 3 to the exponent 1/3. So we have the denominator 6, which is 2 times 3 is the LCM, 6. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. And 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. Since we have already the same roots, which is 6, we can now multiply the problem. So we have to transform to the original equation. So we have the 6th root of 2 to the exponent 3 times the 6th root of 3 to the exponent 2. So we have 6th root of 2 to the exponent 3, which is equal to 8. And the 6th root of 3 to the exponent 2 is equal to 9. So multiply 6th root of 8 times the 6th root of 9 is equal to the 6th root of 72. Okay? Any questions, class? Okay, let's have another example. So 3 times the square root of EX times 7 square root of BX. We have to multiply the radical, and also we are going to multiply the coefficient. So we have 3 times 7 is equal to 21. The square root of EBX squared. So we have 21. The square root of x squared is equal to x, or we can transform the square root of x squared to the square root of x to the exponent 1/2. Then we have the square root of EB. So now the final answer is equal to 21x the square root of EB. So let's any questions, class? Clarification? No? Are you understood? Understand? To test whether you understand or not, let's have an activity. So I have here Manila paper and a pentel pen. Then I will group you into 4 groups. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3, Group 4. So you will answer the problems in 3 minutes. When I clap my hands, you are going to pass the problem to the other group. Are you understand? Then select a leader to discuss your answers in front. Is this understood? Very good. So this is your Manila paper. Okay? So I will give you only 3 minutes. When I clap my hands, you pass the problem to the other group. Okay? Can now start now. Go! Any questions, class? We pass the problem to the other group. And start answer automatically. Okay, to the other group, pass. Okay, pass to the other group. Finish. So let's discuss your answer. We have number 1, problem is 5 the square root of em cubed times the square root of a squared. So we have 5 times the square root of e cubed m cubed. So we have this one 5. We're going to factor e cubed and m cubed, which is e squared times a. M cubed, the factor of m cubed is m squared times m. So we have the square root of a squared is equal to a, and the square root of m squared is equal to m. And then the remaining is a and m. So we have the square root of am. So the final answer is 5em to the square root of am. Another problem. The square root of 9x times the square root of 3x is equal to the square root of 27x squared. So we are going to factor 27, which is one factor is a perfect square, which is 9 times 3. So we have the square root of 9x squared is equal to 3x, which is the square root of x squared is equal to x, and the square root of 3. So we have the final answer, 3x to the square root of 3. Another problem. The square root of 18 times the square root of 14. So it is equal to, since the square root of 18 have a perfect square factor which is 9 and 2, then times the square root of 14. We have the square root of 9 is 3, and then the square root of 2 times the square root of 14. And then 3 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 14 is equal to the square root of 28. Since the 28, the square root of 28 have a perfect square, so we are going to factor 28 to 4 times 7. So 3 times the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 7. We have 6 to the square root of 7 is the final answer. Let's have another problem. 5 to the square root of 5 times cube root of 6. So since the index is not the same, this one is 2 and the other is 3. So we are going to transform to the rational exponent, to the fractional exponent. So we have 5 times 5 to the 1/2 exponent times 6 to the exponent 1/3. So we are going to find the LCM of the exponent 1/2 and 1/3. The LCM of this 1/2 and 1/3 is equal to 6. So 6 divided of 2 is equal to 3. 6 divided of 3 is equal to 2. Since we have already the same roots, which is 6, so we can now multiply. So we're going to transform to a radical sign. We have 5 times the 6 roots of 5 to the exponent 3 times the 6 root of 6 to the exponent 2. So we have 5 to the 6 root of 5 to the exponent 3 is equal to 125. And the 6 root of 6 to the exponent 2 is equal to 36. So we have now the final answer, 5 times the 6 root of 4,500, which is 125 square root times, 6 root of 125 times the 6th root of 36, which is equal to the 6th root of 4,500. So, the final answer is 5 to the 6 roots of 4,500. Any questions, class? Okay. Do you have any questions? Clarification? Violent reaction? No. So, no other questions? So, what have you learned this morning, class? Okay, multiplication of radicals. So, how are you going to solve the multiplication of radicals? What are you going to do if the index is not the same? So, how did you multiply radicals? So, since you already know that radicals with the same index, simply multiply the radicand and the coefficient. So, very good. So, can you multiply a radical which is not the same index? No, because we cannot simply direct multiply because the index are not the same. So what are you going to do with that index? You are going to transform to the exponential form. So, class, is cheating good? Oh, very good. So you are going to answer it honestly. Is there any question? Okay. So since you don't have any questions, you understand. So get 1/2 sheet of paper and answer the following. Simplify the following multiplication of radicals. So number 1, 2 to the cube, the square root of 3 times 3 to the square root of 8. Number 2, e to the cube root of x times the cube root of y. Number 3, the square root of x to the exponent 5 times the square root of 3x. Number 4, the square root of 3 times the cube root of 5. Number 5, 3x times the square root of 5y times 71x squared times the square root of xy. Number 6, 5a square root times the square root of 3a. Number 7, square root of 11 times the 6th root of 8. Number 8 is the square root of 3x times the square root of 3x squared. Are you finished? Keep quiet. Concentrate on your work. Don't turn your head. Are you done? Finish? Okay. Pass your papers to the center aisle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pass it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Late papers will not be accepted. Any questions about the exam today, class? Yeah. For your assignment, what is a quadratic equation? And What is the formula of quadratic equation? Okay. Copy the assignment in your notebook. And then be ready for the next lesson for tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.